You are now listening to Soundspace, the podcast where we interview experts and professionals in the space of sound.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Soundspace, the podcast where we interview audio. And today, music people, I am joined with my fantastic co-host, Anthony. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. I'm very excited about today's guest. We have a super treat for the listeners. I'm very grateful to have this person on board. Today, we will be interviewing Marquise Desmarais. Let me introduce this legend to you. Marquise Desmarais is a French indie folk artist and composer from Montreal, Quebec. She has 3 diplomas, a college diploma in music with a specialization in arrangement from Marie-Victorin College, a bachelor's degree in music composition and interpretation from Université du Québec à Montréal, where she also attended the film music graduate diploma, where I met her. In 2019, she won the Hubert-Rousseau grant from Université du Québec à Montréal for her composition Au Premier Étage and was selected for the finale of MusiQualite competition. That same year, it was the festival en Chanson de Saint-Ambroise that welcomed her to its competition. Since 2020, she has released 2 full-length albums and 3 singles. These include En attendant de t'oublier, Amour tendre, Un bon soldat, and L'échappée. She is a multi-instrumentalist who can play guitar, piano, ukulele, and she can also sing. Her music has been streamed across XM radio, Spotify playlists, local radio stations all over Canada, and she is also a lead vocalist and guitarist for the humor-based acoustic music trio Blondes Naturelles, which has released a self-titled extended play and a single titled Ghost-Moi. Let's all give a warm welcome to Marquise Desmarais.
Thank you. How are you?
Very well. Thank you so much for coming on today on the podcast. Very happy to have you on. This is a crazy list of accomplishments. When I was doing my research on you, I could not believe how many things you've experienced at such a early stage of your career. So I really want to begin with the start here. Can you maybe describe to us when music became of importance to you and when you decided to really focus on that?
Yes. When I was young, my dad was playing guitar, but he never really showed me how to play. And it's just when I was about 15 years old that I had a crush on a girl at school. And she said in class that she was playing guitar. So all of a sudden, I wanted to learn to play guitar.
Okay.
Because of that, I asked my father, can you show me some chords? But basically, he made me sit in front of a partition. He said, this is how you place your fingers, like, you know, the chord schemes. And 5 minutes later, he just left the room and left me with the guitar. And I was really upset, discouraged. And finally, because I really wanted to show him that I could do it, I learned it. I stayed, played guitar, and a week later, I knew how to play a song.
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow, okay. So guitar was your first instrument, basically.
Yeah. I learned it on YouTube, watching videos, and because of that, I started to sing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
Did you teach yourself how to sing as well?
Yeah. Well,
what?
I think I have a good ear, musical
Definitely.
hearing.
I would agree.
Yeah. And finally, I went to college, Cégep, Marie-Victorin, and this is where I got better at singing, into interpretation. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's maybe talk about your first diploma because I really think that looking at your education, we clearly see that music is the focus, and that's what you wanted to do. How long was the program? What was it like? Let's get into the specifics of your introduction to music education.
It was 3 years, and at that time I was studying arts in UQAM because I was not sure of what I wanted to do, and when I was in high school, they told me that the l'orientrice, she told me, if you don't know how to read music, because I learned it by myself on YouTube, but I did not learn how to read music. She told me, you cannot go to college if you don't know how to write and to read music. So that's why I went at UQAM studying arts, and finally I got accepted at Collège Marie-Victorin, and so I left UQAM, and I knew it was a new start. I just went there in singing classes. My specialization was singing, and but also this is where I learned how to arrange pop music. And I did some music à l'image, film music. too.
Yeah, film music.
But I learned so much.
At Marie-Victorin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow. So Marie-Victorin is almost like, it encapsulates every other program you've done. It kind of just was a taste of what is out there for you and what made you want to maybe like pursue more at UQAM. Would that be accurate? Would you agree with that?
Well, it was really adapt to what I wanted to do, which is always write songs. So I had classes to write songs, to write lyrics, to write chord progression, and to learn how to play in a band. And I had so much to learn. I learned everything there. And when I went to UQAM was more like learning how to sing.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not learn anything about composition at UQAM, but it was a nice space to meet great musicians and to keep doing my project, which is writing songs.
Of course. I feel like at UQAM, what's great about the music department there is that if you're in one program, it doesn't dismiss the fact that you can have access to the studio or you can have access to the lab and all the people around there. And one thing I know, because for the audience, I attended the film music program with Marie, and that's where I met her. I always felt that you were someone who was super involved in the department itself. You know what I mean? Not just the film music program or not just your bachelor's. Everyone knew you, and you were always in a practice room or in a piano room. Do you want to maybe talk about the importance of that, of being so involved, and what the benefits of that are for your career and how it prepared you for your music career?
Yeah. Well, I was there for 3 years, so that's why I knew a lot of people, and I knew how to use all the instruments that were there. But I don't know. I don't really know how to answer this.
No, that's a good answer. Maybe to cap off on your education, you attended the graduate diploma in film music. What made you want to apply, and what was your experience there like?
I wanted to apply because, first of all, I don't know why, but like when I write music on a piano, I always saw like images. Yeah, and people were telling me this, that, your music is cinematographic. And I also felt it myself, but I think there are reasons for that. Maybe because the film music I really liked the piano was really important in the music. Mm-hmm. So that was the main reason. Also, I wanted to keep going at UQAM because I wanted to use the studio.
Yeah, I knew that was going to come up.
Yeah, and use the instruments because I don't have a real piano at home. So
okay, that's a great reason to stay at UQAM.
Why? Because gear.
Gear. And also, I'll admit that I was a bit scared just to live my life without studying.
I can relate to that. Honestly, the big reason why I did that program too, I literally had a job offer to like be an audiovisual technician, and UQAM, I had one hand in education and one hand in career, and I was like, I'm not ready to like work yet. I just need another year. Can you describe that feeling for someone who's maybe finishing a bachelor's degree in audio and they're gonna become a professional very soon? Can you describe the feeling of that fear of what it is like to knowing that your time is almost up in terms of education? What was that like for you?
Well, when you finish your bachelor, you do a big project. Basically, I chose to do a show in a bar, but it was like with a full band, and it was a lot of work, and it was very fun. And it's like during a whole year, you can create and like explore and really focus on what you want to be as an artist. Mm-hmm. And so that's why it's really fulfilling. After, when you finish your studies, it's like everybody is so excited, and you know so many people, you have parties, and everybody plays with everybody. It's really a great experience to have a community. Mm-hmm. So I think it's something that, you keep some friends of the community, but not all of them. You're always gonna meet up someone later, work on different projects. So I think that's why it can be scary to leave studying, but also because you have due dates. Like you need to finish work when you're at school. So that was really helpful to be productive and to finish my songs and to have a public, because you have shows. Your exams are shows in front of a public, so that's how you really know if people relate to your work. So for all those reasons, it was really a big piece of my education, my how I became the artist I am right now.
Yeah, of course.
So studying at UQAM, studying film music at UQAM, has that changed your perception on music creation?
How I felt when I was studying is that they want you to be able to do every style. They show you great composers, which is really interesting. But I'm a stubborn person, and I want to create what's in my heart. That's cheesy, but so
that's wonderful.
I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and I felt obligated to compose, like to do, to imitate like great composers.
Other composers.
And I did not like that. I mean, I'm not gonna write not for now big symphonies, and I don't know. I wanted to play piano basically. So maybe it was not my place.
Right. No, I could definitely relate to that. Like personally, coming out of electroacoustic studies, where like there are no rules, and then getting there and learning how to compose like comedic music or action music, and there's like a set of rules. I kind of felt like I was fluid like water, and then they just throw me in a box, and they're like, "Be the box." I'm like, "No, I'm water. I'm fluid. I move around. I don't follow rules." And it's like, yes, but these are 13 rules you must follow for this exercise. And I always felt like I was like, not for me. So I definitely understand and relate to that point, Marie. It's like, absolutely. Let's jump to, so obviously we talked about your education, but like throughout your education, you were releasing music as a solo act as Marquise Desmarais. So let's talk about, when did you begin composing that music? When was that? And what was it like in those first few compositions?
As soon as I was playing guitar, I wanted to I was like creating a little piece of songs. I knew 3 chords, but I wanted to sing. I knew what I wanted to sing on it, and like rearrange the chords. Like every song I learned, I was playing with the concepts I was learning. Yeah, so it was natural. I don't know.
I have a question on that. Typically, when you're writing a song, what comes first? Is it the lyrics or is it the melody? Or it doesn't necessarily have an order?
Well, yeah.
For you?
Most of the time, I just sing. It's like automatic writing. Automatic writing is just you write what you have on your mind, like a whole page. But most of the time, I have a riff that really inspires me. And sometimes I have one sentence that comes out and gives me like a feeling. I'm like, ooh,
inspiration.
And then after I build on that. Sometimes it's music.
Okay, awesome.
Most of the time, I need to find the music inspiring, to want to sit for hours and think about what I want to say. So it's kind of separated.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Do you write songs?
100%.
Nice.
Yeah, I do. I don't sing.
Okay.
But that's why I was curious, coming from a vocalist perspective, which part came first.
Absolutely. I like music creation is so based on whatever you're feeling in the moment. I feel like there's no like
whatever you're feeling
correct answer of like how to start a song. Like sometimes it's drums, sometimes it's a melody, and sometimes it's electroacoustic ambience for 5 hours and it's a drone. You know, like there are no rules. So obviously I'm very familiar with your music, and I love it. I really want to like start going through the different compositions and releases that you've done over the years, and let's start with Un Bon Soldat, one of the singles you released. Can you talk about maybe the creative process behind that one?
Yeah. I had a phase I really liked playing acoustic guitar, and it was, I don't know, I had a feeling, cowboy feeling, like an old Western movie, and I wanted it to be, I wanted tension, because it's not a typical pop song. it is pop, but the feeling, my feeling for this song, what I wanted to show was a desperate desire to live. And I'm really happy about the rock. The song is really rock, and
the electric guitars are just crunchy. Your voice just goes into another reverberant dimension. The harmonies are crisp. I love it. It's a song that really has different planes of existence. You know what I mean? Like the verses and the chorus, there's like a transformation between them, and that's what I really love about it the most. It's how not medley-like, but how evolving and constantly evolving it is. That's like, how did you go about doing that? Because it's not easy to do. It's not easy to like switch around so fluidly between song sections.
I always really like to contrast. So when I write the song, I think about that. I hate to repeat. Well, I do pop, so I do repeat, but not too much. I don't like to do
pop is all repetition.
I know, but you need to handle the repetition. And
of course.
And that's what I try to do. And most of the time I have sections in my head and I copy paste them, but I change some elements, and I'm really glad of how Un Bon Soldat came. And the ending is comme un chant de bataille.
A song, a battle song. I know what you mean. It's intense. You feel like an energy that's like, it's right now, you know. Oh man, it's great. It's really well made. And then I feel like the song that maybe contrasts the most with Un Bon Soldat, because that's definitely one of your rockier songs. Amour Tendre is so sweet and nice. It makes me want to go to the old port and look out to the sky with my girlfriend. You know, it's that like kind of vibe. It makes me happy. It makes me giddy. I love it. It really has a sweet atmosphere throughout the entire song. So what was the creative process behind that one?
I always loved Bossa Nova, puis Carlos Jobim, puis once again, I really enjoyed playing guitar in my room, and Bossa Nova is a great style, I think, to play. So I just embraced the style Bossa Nova, but of course my song is pop, and it's a love song. So when I wrote it, I was in love. And I wanted to be sweet, but in the meantime, I think there's some like surprises in a section. The progression is not always like
predictable, right?
But I wanted it to be like a dream. Like that's what I mean.
Okay.
And
I think
to
dream
people,
is a good way to put it.
Yeah. I want people to feel like they're on the beach. That's it.
Nice. I like that. I really like it seems like when approaching a song, you have like a predetermined, not like location, but like what kind of ride you're gonna go on. You know what I mean? Like Un Bon Soldat is like up and down. I'm screaming melodically in your ears, and I'm there and I'm present, and you feel my energy. And Amour Tendre is like very floaty, and you know, makes you dream, and it's like soundscape like. I really really love the differences in those songs. Okay, I am so beyond excited to talk about this next single, because I had the pleasure and the privilege of recording this live acoustic version of the song at the studio I used to work at. En attendant de t'oublier, as we are recording this, is your latest single, will be on your next album, correct?
Yep.
And it's very, very, very powerful once again. Do you want to talk about how you went about creating that song?
Sure. My heart was broken. So, but I'm good. Don't cry for me. Argentina.
Okay, won't cry.
Breaks out in a new song.
Yeah.
We can't afford those copyrights.
No, you're right.
Not yet. We're not that rich.
No. So I needed a homemade therapy. So I just wrote the song, and it worked. I felt better. I sang it many times.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
You should do this. If your heart is broken, write a song and sing it to yourself.
It will empty out emotions for sure. I can definitely understand that. I used to write lyrics back in high school, and I was like, "Oh, I'm in a bad mood." Write about it. I'm in a good mood now.
Yeah, it never
So-
lasts, but that's good. that
Yeah.
sad
Yeah,
times.
exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, very cool, very cool. Okay, so obviously L'Échappée has multiple songs on it, and we don't have to go over all of these, but this was I know that this was a long and hard process for you to create this album, and it turned out fantastic. I loved your live stream that you did when you were presenting all those songs during the pandemic. It was a good nightly entertainment, and I think that this album is a great start for your career. Do you want to just like talk about the process of not necessarily making that entire album, because I know it's a lot of details, but like what it was like for you to undertake such a big project? I think your biggest one so far.
Yeah. Well, since I was 15, I wrote like maybe 30, 40 songs. So first of all, I had to choose the best ones. And I met Roman Pagliaro and Cédric Hébert. And with them, I learned how to record an album because I had no idea how. So we did together les maquettes, and for a year we did that, and then we went to studio Break Glass 3 days, and after this I did record. I did again all the guitars, and because you change during the process, you change your tastes. They change too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can feel like you're going crazy at some point, because I really want to be. I want everything to be, of course, perfect. But sometimes what I thought was really hard is you can redo a take like forever, and you're gonna like some parts of different takes. Well, you can edit, which I did, but during the process, you're gonna forget what was your first idea, what was the first feeling. So what I learned about myself and about recording music is that in the future, I want to record live with a band. I don't want to record separately all the parts. I mean,
I think it's a
some
totally
parts,
different atmosphere for sure.
yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah,
and
like overdubs and stuff.
And I want the recording process to be I was going to say the fastest, the better, but if you're ready, if you thought about your arrangements before a week in a studio, you're gonna have the best of your first feeling, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand what you mean. Absolutely. I also want to just say that I'll say it for you. This album is available on Bandcamp, and you need to go buy it. It's great music. Go stream it on Spotify. L'Échappée really encapsulates the amazing. All the songs they have their own uniqueness to them throughout the album. That's what I love about it. And if you live in Montreal, or if you have any Quebec blood within you, I promise you that you will relate to the subject matter with what is described in these songs. It's almost like crazy how I've been there. I know what you mean. How these songs are made. So I'm really happy with that. Let's talk about your 2022 album. What is it called? Let's just talk about what people can expect from it, how many songs are on it. It's out by the time this podcast is out, I imagine. So, please give us all the details and the scoops on it.
First of all, it was supposed to have seven songs, but I'm working really hard for an eighth song, because I just wrote a song and I really wanted to be on it. The opus name is gonna be Petite Chose. Because for me, it means to be vulnerable, small. Yeah, when you're sad or when you're tired, when you open up about your feelings, you are une petite chose. So that's why.
Right.
But also, I have a song named Les Petites Choses. And it's pop songs. On it, you're got 2 piano songs. The feeling is like an adventure, a bit like cinematographic, like I said before. But also we have like groovy songs, acoustic guitar songs in which I don't know, because all the songs are kind of different, so that's why I'm not sure how to describe it.
Right. Well, I mean, it's you.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's
I like
that's what you do though. Like like you vary so much in your songs. There's no other way to say it but to say that this album is going to be the new Marquise Desmarais. You know, like where you were from L'Échappée was point A, and now this album is going to be point B, and it's the evolution of your musical career. And I'm personally extremely excited for its release. When is it coming out? What's the date, the month that you are aiming for?
25 February. Yeah. But the album launch, the album launch is gonna be the 23rd. Yeah. Au Quai des Brumes.
So if you're listening to this, it's out. Go stream it. It's fantastic, and you're gonna love it. Please,
everything's gonna be linked.
Support. Yes, everything's gonna be linked in the description.
So we talked about where your inspiration comes from when you're writing songs, right? You said whatever comes to your mind, but who has been your biggest inspiration, artist-wise, growing up or just now in general?
Daniel Bélanger.
Oh,
Ouais.
okay.
But I really loved songs. Sinon Claude Léveillé, les chansons à texte. Ben, à texte, mais que la mélodie, the melody is very like important. Yeah. So Daniel Bélanger, Carquois, Harmonium.
Okay. That's great. It's always interesting to hear this because you listen to an artist's music and then you see where the inspiration comes from. It's very cool.
All right, let's to conclude on all of these releases that you've done. I want to move towards the latest single that you released. Once again, as we are recording this, so En attendant de t'oublier, it was mixed and mastered by Francis Collard. That's what your Bandcamp describes. So I would love to know. Let's start like specifically with Francis. What's your working relationship like with him as your music engineer? Because a lot of people who listen to this are audio engineers. So what's your relationship like? And then what advice can you give, like as an artist, to someone who is an audio engineer? Like, what do you expect? What do you need? What are like some important points that you could give to people who are working towards becoming audio engineers?
Well, how we work together is he has a studio at his house. So I was just playing guitar and he was recording me, and then after we would arrange the rest together. But he's playing all instruments basically, and he's playing very well. I wanted to try this way of writing songs, which is the way like artists that have a label, for instance, or well, I mean, not always, but I wanted to give the key, like clé en main, tu sais. I wanted to see what he was seeing on what he would do with my songs. And I was really glad because he saw what was important to me. The melody and the feeling was more important than the virtuosity.
Right.
But I mean, it was really nice. He's a very relaxed person, so it was not stressful at all. And we would always take breaks, which is not something I'm used to do. And so because of that, it was very easy and but it's also that I am very critical on myself. So it kind of made me realize that what he thought was a great vocal take, it's very subjective. And because I've been like, for instance, I've been studying music now, singing. I did singing lessons for 6 years. And after my studying, I was just thinking about the pitch and forgetting about the rest. Because it was like... I was anxious finally. But all this to say that it's very important to have someone else to look at your work. Because, you're going to go crazy. I mean, well, to me, it's important to have someone else's eyes.
Yeah, I mean that's important for all works of art. Just getting second opinions, second pair of ears, second pair of eyes.
Yeah.
Like a different perspective. Absolutely.
Exactly.
We interviewed the Jacob Lacroix Cardinal from Planet Studios, and one thing that he told us was that when an artist steps in the performance room, and they pour out their heart to the audio engineer, and they need full trust in that audio engineer.
Yeah.
And the second that trust is broken, it's game over. Do you want to talk about maybe the trust that you input into someone like Francis or any other engineer that you've worked with in the past, and how important that aspect of your collaboration is?
Well, I think it's basic, but you need to feel that the person, the engineer, likes what you do, that he believes in your project, and he brings his ideas, of course, because and to be respectful about. If the artists don't know all the technical terms, you need to adapt. That's what I think, because it's we share creativity. So if you want to share, you need to accept that communication is. It might be hard sometimes, but the most important is to be a team, basically.
Absolutely. And to conclude on that, like, what's your advice? Like, let's say someone that's listening to this is gonna start a college diploma in audio engineering and wants to be an audio engineer for artists. What's your biggest advice for someone who, for you as an artist? What's your biggest advice to someone who's going to become an audio engineer and wants to collaborate with artists for a living?
Well, I don't know. There are so many different talents and many different engineers.
Right.
No one's good at the same things. I think you need to trust yourself and to keep being good at what you're best.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
of course, listening, I guess it's the best quality you can have. Respect.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it all points to chemistry also. You know what I mean? Like what you're describing right now is, being able to be respectful and listening, and all of these things emerge because you have chemistry with the other person, because you have a connection with the other person. So you want to give them the attention, you want to give them the ear, and you want to guide them, and you want this to be the best thing. These need to be constantly in motion in the relationship of audio engineer and artist.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Very cool. Yes.
Well said.
Well said.
So, can you describe to us your day-to-day as an artist with multiple projects?
Well, for now, it was COVID, so I did not have so many shows. But most of the time, I've been recording for all summer. Well, it's day to day. It's not always the same thing. But most of the time, I practice. I write lyrics.
Okay.
I make sure to keep my social media active. I practice with my band. I look for opportunities to for myself and my band to meet new people and to find money to keep going the project.
Yeah, that's interesting that you brought up actually COVID, because I wanted to ask you, how was it like during the pandemic? How is it impacting you?
It was hard because I'm very sensitive, and it kind of made me realize that I'm really happy when I'm surrounded. But in the meantime, I'm anxious when I meet new people. So anyways, I'm just learning to deal with that. But it was tough also because everything was online. And so I did release my first album during COVID. So because of that, I will never know how it would have been if I did release it without a pandemic. I think the results would be really different. But I'm glad I did it because for a year now, my songs have been playing on radios, and I exist. So, but it was a good moment for many artists, I imagine, to do studio. Yeah, like myself with my band, we did our first EP. It was during COVID. So yeah, thanks to COVID, we got time to do this. So
yeah, you got more time and more people are at home and have more time to explore new tracks.
Absolutely. I want to touch 2 points. I think like one thing that like needs to be commended about your music and your art is that you did something very creative during the summer of 2020 when many artists were like, oh, I want to do shows. Oh, I want to do, oh, shows are live audio is dead. Oh no. You did something called La Tournée des Parcs, where you went around Montreal and you performed in different parks. People were socially distanced. Albums were available for sale, and you got your music out there to new ears. And it seems like something so like simple. Just go out to a park and perform, you know? But the way you did that, it was so creative. The management of the events on Facebook were great. How did you go about creating that, and how did that idea come to be?
Well, I did not have many possibilities. I mean, it was the only place we could be.
Right. Of course.
So
Right.
that's why I bought myself a Street Cube, which is amplifier for guitar and voice. And my good friend Emmanuel Trottier, he was really the brave one. He brought his whole drum kit in parks. And so we were just jamming, having fun, drinking some cocktail, and it was nice. Yeah.
I'm so sad I missed that.
It was fun because it was like small parties, and it really was fun because I had a social life at this point.
Yeah.
So I really
Right.
enjoyed it, singing and for people, meeting people, and socializing.
Yeah.
100%.
You were just like, there's no concerts, no problem. I'll create my own concert.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold my
Yeah.
beer, hold my cocktail. I'll go make some concerts for you.
Exactly.
Hold my God.
That's great.
Hold my cocktail. I'm just gonna go be creative to the public. Absolutely. No, I attended I attended one show. I think, I don't know. It was great. I thought it was just super creative, and I do want to give your props for that. The other thing that you mentioned that I absolutely want to get into is you mentioned that your music is constantly playing on radios and everything like that. That's like the dream of many artists. How did you go about getting your music streaming on local radio stations and XM radio and all those different places?
I hired a woman called Martine Bérubé. She's a radio tracker. So that's what she do in life. She's in contact with every radio stations and satellite, les stations satellite, and she knows. I mean, she was experienced, so I was glad to work with her, and props to her. That's
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. All right, you talked about someone that you hired. So obviously Marquise Desmarais is an artist, but there's a team behind there, right? So let's maybe talk about how you go about handling the financial aspect of your music, whether it be the distributions, the royalties, your CD sales. You know, do you have multiple people working under you or for you? Like, how do you do it? Do you have grants? Do you use help from like the Quebec music system or anything like that? Like, how do you handle that aspect of your artistry?
Yeah. So first of all, I did a projet jeune volontaire, which is something avec Emploi Québec, which is like help, financial help for workers. Like you just present a project, any artistic project, and they give you a grant. And because of that, I was able to do my first album. That was great. And then I did a second one. And this all paid the studio, which was not so much. It was like, I mean, it is a lot, but for an album, it depends. But it's like 10,000. And so I was able to start somewhere. But then after I had to hire Martine Bérubé, the radio tracker, and also someone for to contact medias, Philippe Renaud. And you always have unexpected dépenses. Expenses, oui, c'est bon. Merci. But also I released my album on June. It's been a year and a half now, I think. And the music played on the satellite radio stations. And this is from now the best way to make money, I think, with your music. So with that money, I was able to keep going and to pay my rent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
awesome.
That's like the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
But honestly, in all seriousness, like as an artist, when you see money rolling in from like the moment
It's
you strum that
encouraging.
guitar, it's like it's so rewarding. Like I totally relate. Like I get a little bit of money every month from my distributor for my anime covers on Spotify and everything, and it's like, oh wow, cool. That's this. I'm not wasting my time. You know, this actually has
it's rewarding
income
for sure.
potential. 100%.
It's kind of a validation also. But
Yes.
it's stupid because c'est le capitalisme, là, basically. If you get money, you kind of need, but you don't need it. But it's what the society says. If you make money, you're worth it. But anyways, it's just nice to have money to keep going doing what you love. That's it.
Of course.
Yes,
Of course.
definitely.
So I wanted to know, what has been your favorite show or venue you performed at? Obviously, this has to be before the pandemic.
Well, no.
I guess it could be the park thing.
It
Yeah,
was
I
not
was just
the
thinking.
park thing, but it was.
Those Hochelaga parks are amazing. I love all the trees and benches over there.
But
No.
I was going to
Oh my
say.
God.
We've been, me and my band, we sang on the Place Valois, which is in Hochelaga.
Yes.
Okay.
We sang on the street, but it was my favorite show.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
It's busking, so it's not a big show, but it was great because so many things happened that day.
Yes. I was there.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
We met people, nice people, strange people, and it was funny.
Hochelaga
We
people.
just had fun.
Yeah. I wasn't there like a guy who showed up and he just goes, "You guys sound like majestical mermaids when you sing," like something like that.
I don't
think.
remember. Yeah, that's
I remember
great.
that.
Was it
Some
you,
guy-
Jaian?
Yeah, it was me. I was the
you
guy.
ask?
Yeah, it was me. Yeah, I was just like, you sound like a mermaid. I can't even say it without laughing. No, absolutely. That was a fun show. And very, very, very cool. All right, before we get into Blondes Naturelles, because this is like something I'm very excited to discuss. I think a theme that's been reoccurring throughout this entire interview when we talk about your music, your creativity, your career, everything. You are motivated and you are active. You're always finding shows. You're always recording. You're always finding grants. You're always evolving what you create. How do you go about staying so motivated? Like, what's the key? Because it's not every artist that can do what you do. You're always making stories on Instagram. You're always posting clips on YouTube or Facebook. You really have something unique in that sense that many artists lack, I find, at the beginning of the career. How do you go about maintaining that motivation?
I have a music family, so I think I know that I have the chance, the privilege to be able to do music, and I just take it. I mean, it's not everybody who can. I had enough money to go study music, and now I have enough money to just create new music. I mean, why not keep going?
Yes.
Yeah, why not keep going, of course.
I mean, if I was born in another family, another country, I don't know what my life would be. So, yeah. But it's not easy.
Absolutely.
I mean, you just, of course, like I said, the COVID was difficult.
Yeah.
But I mean, you need to remember why you love music.
Yeah.
I think that's like the key to it. Like, why am I doing this? Because it's like my life. It's what I love doing. It's what like makes me get up in the morning. You know, like when I go on set to go work on a TV show, or when I'm mixing something for a client, and it's like we're into hour 13. It's like, why am I doing this? Because I'm lucky to be where I am and to do what I do. You know, I think like what you just said there is exactly so important and needs to be highlighted, because you have that aspect. You realize how lucky you are, and you don't take anything for granted. You know, that's why you work so hard in your music. So I absolutely like want to echo that point that you just said. Let's go to your band. Let's talk about Blondes Naturelles.
I'm really excited to hear about this.
Okay, I need to give some context to Marie. I showed the music video of Ghost-Moi to Anthony one day, and he loved it.
That was the first song I heard.
Oh, nice.
From you.
Yeah.
Cool.
I loved it. Absolutely. I remember I was just walking on the street with Jaian. He's like, you have to hear.
Do you relate to the topic?
I don't.
I
I don't. But
Good,
I
good.
definitely enjoyed it.
Okay.
I feel
Oh,
like
nice.
a lot of people can relate to the I can relate to the topic. I've had people I was like, please leave me alone.
Yeah.
So I totally understand. So before we get into Ghost-Moi, because we'll definitely get into Ghost-Moi, how did Blondes Naturelles come to form? Like, there's three of you. Let's talk about how you three became a musical trio.
Yeah, so we were studying at UQAM, me and Pat Girard, devrais-je dire. We just met, and it was like un coup de foudre amical.
Yes.
She was so funny because she always say she's doing like douche jokes. She's the professional douche jokes maker. But I
She's
mean,
hilarious.
yeah, she's so funny, and it's funny too because she's saying things you can't say, but because she's a girl, I mean, it's less disturbing. Anyways. So we really enjoyed each other's company, and we were always laughing together. And it was clear in my head that I wanted to write songs for myself and to build a career with that. And I thought after our studies, we should build something together because we have so much fun together. I cannot believe that people are not going to think that our songs are not funny. I mean, if I think it's funny, me and my friends, if we laugh at those songs, why not other people? So that's why we started Blondes Naturelles.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so that's two of you, but like, when did the third member come into play, and how did that happen?
Well, before we were four, it was like our friend band. We were four friends, but finally, our two friends did not relate too much to. I think they thought it was too edgy, or like, because sometimes we have sexual topics. Sometimes you really need to be theatrical. And anyways, but they wanted to do something else, other projects. And so finally we were looking for a third member, and we knew Marie-Jeanne. She was studying in music too. So, and she loved the songs already. So she joined, and it was really a perfect match because she's really good at thinking harmonies, vocal harmonies. And that's how we became a trio.
Yeah, okay, I see. So you play the guitar, all three of you sing. What does Marie-Jeanne play, and then what does Pat play? So just we have a really good understanding of everyone's instrumentation.
Pat plays ukulele, and Marie-Jeanne, she does sometimes shaker and tambourine. And me, I play guitar and sometimes mandolin. But we are all singers. At the first place, we are singers. So that's the main thing about the project. Three of us singing.
Absolutely. And when you made your first record together as a trio, what was that process like for the three of you? Because obviously you were working on L'Échappée at the same time, so you were handling a lot of like musical creation and recording and everything. So what was that process like?
Well, L'Échappée, the recording was done. So that was okay. I was just waiting to release it. I had a gap of a few months. But for Blondes Naturelles, dans le fond, the COVID happened. And we practiced the songs the whole summer. And it's on October 2020. And Marie-Jeanne had a home studio. So we went, all three of us, we recorded every part, guitar, all the voices, all the back vocals, ukulele, shaker. And then because of COVID, we shared the tracks with Emmanuel, who played the drums, with Nicolas Fontaine, who did the uptight bass and bass. We also had a percussionist, Nicolas Lafortune. So that was the process the whole time. We already knew what were the forms. I mean, it was easy because we knew exactly where we were going.
I see. And what about obviously you described Blondes Naturelles as being comedic, edgy. You know, sometimes you talk about sexual subjects. What is the dynamic between the three of you like to embark on those types of topics when you create music?
Well, we talk about our lives, our experiences, and yeah, that's basically what happened with Ghost-Moi.
Yeah, talk about Ghost-Moi, please. What's the story behind Ghost-Moi?
Well, how it started, I had a riff I really liked. It was like a gypsy riff, kind of. And my heart was broken, like I talked before. And I was trying to laugh about it because that girl ghosted me. So I was singing the refrain. Ghost-moi, mon amour, un peu, beaucoup. And so because of that, we thought about the girls, especially the girls. They thought about like bad sexual experiences they got, and you have a bad chemistry with someone, or that's what we wrote about.
It's certainly a relatable track for a lot of people.
Yeah. Like, to conclude on that track, it's an experience. Like, we all had, like, we went on a date and it didn't really click, and you it's that thing where you tell the person, oh, I can't wait to text you later, which basically is code for never talk to me ever again, lose my number, I don't want to talk to you ever again. But the person's just like, oh, wow, I can talk to this person again. They loved me. Great. And they keep texting you over and over and over. And you're just like unable to say no. And it's just like this. A lot of people have been there. And the music video for it is hilarious. I want to maybe conclude on this before we get to our final question. Your music videos are always well filmed, well directed, well created. I don't necessarily want to go into like how every single one was made, but like, do you have like a general template, or like how do you approach music video creation for your singles and Blondes Naturelles and Marquise Desmarais?
But for Marquise Desmarais, I've been working with Fiona Cully, which she did a great job. She worked with her team. And for Blondes Naturelles, it was during the COVID. So we didn't have the choice to do many things. We decided to write the scenario and to just do whatever we wanted. I mean, that's what is nice about the Blondes Naturelles. We have so much freedom because we don't take ourselves too seriously. I mean, we do talk about serious stuff, but it's always in a funny way. That's why we do it, because it makes... We think it's funny, and so we just filmed in our apartments different peripéties. So it was really a homemade music video, and it was worth it. We got some haters, so worth it.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah,
that's it.
Haters gonna hate. Potatoes gonna potato.
That's exactly it.
Go to your house and drink your haterade. 50% off at the local corner store. Hey, at least they streamed your music. You know what I mean? At least you got an extra social media interaction. That's the way I see haters. Waste of time. Sucks to be you. We didn't talk about one of your singles that was really the first original song I've heard of yours when I was at UQAM and you released it. L'imbécile célibataire. Is a very personal song, I know, and one that is fantastic. And I just want to maybe talk about that song in particular. Like, what was the inspiration for it, and what was the creative process for it?
I wouldn't say I was heartbroken, but I had my pride was hurt, so I wrote this song, and it did help. But in the meantime, in the song, I say it, the imbécile célibataire, which means the stupid single person. I mean, in the whole song, I'm talking about like how it's hard to be dumped. And I'm saying like someone, I mean, you are stupid to leave me. Like a bit like I'm thinking about Taylor Swift. It's kind of the vibe, but not the music, not at all the music. But at the end of the song, I say, oh, maybe I'm the stupid one. Maybe I'm the stupid single person. Anyways, but it was a very fun song to do on the piano. And it was a tough arrangement because many things are happening. You have electric guitar, bass, you have like 4 brass and piano. Anyways, but yeah, it's a great song because you have a Latin feel on the refrain, which is when I was talking about contrast, it's something that I really liked about this song.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Yeah, that's it. It's a theatrical song. I love to play with my voice and be too much. I think it's funny to be too much.
Yeah, I think it's great to be
like
too much.
Taylor
Honestly.
Swift.
I think it's just a great way. Yeah, like Marquise Swift or Taylor Desmarais. Either or works.
Yeah, Taylor Desmarais.
Okay. I want to ask you one more question. They all come to my mind at the end, obviously. This is a bit of more of an audio nerd question. I was wondering if you could just describe to us what DAW do you use and what virtual instruments you enjoy when you're making maquettes for your songs. Just like maybe more like of the software side of things. What do you like working with? For the audio nerd in the audience, i.e. me. What DAW and what software do you enjoy using when you create music?
Mm-hmm. Well, at college, we were working, and I'm still working on Logic Pro, and I love how it's easy. Of course, it's really friendly user. I love how it's easy to select the best takes. But I used to do it on Pro Tools too. But I love also Keyscape. I used to stylus. It's like automated drums, but you can like really choose. You can change everything and really choose your pattern. So but I don't. I play real instruments most of the time, so I don't really use that much like audio banks.
Virtual instruments. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, that concludes all the questions I had. Anthony, did you have anything else you wanted to ask before we go to our honorary exit question?
No, I don't think I have any other questions.
Perfect. Okay, so before we let you go and promote and plug all of your social media, Marquise, Anthony has a question for you that we asked all of our guests. This is a question that we want you to... It could be one word, it can be one sentence, and it could be a 10-minute speech. Whatever comes to mind in the moment, we will take with pleasure. So please, go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, so exactly. At the end of every episode, we like to ask our guests one final question, and it's, what is your advice to people who want to get into the space of sound?
Smoke weed.
Thank you very much. That is the answer.
Noted.
Noted. All right. That's perfect. Okay, Marie, where can people find you? What is your social media? What is your Instagram, your Facebook, your Spotify, everything? Please promote all of your pages so people can go follow you. Everything will be linked in the description, obviously, but please go ahead.
Cool. By Marquise Desmarais. This is my name on Instagram, Facebook, and wherever you're looking. I'm the only one, Marquise Desmarais. So, I also have my website, marquisedesmarais.com. So, I hope you're going to enjoy my music. See you.
Perfect. See you. Okay,
awesome.
And Anthony,
OG Desmarais.
OG Desmarais. Yeah, exactly. Where can people find you, Anthony?
You can find me on Instagram at akachi.audio. So that's ACACI.audio. And on Spotify as Akachi, ACACI.
Perfect. You can find me at Jaian Music on social media, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. JaianMusic.com is my website if you want to hire me for freelance audio services, mixing, mastering, sound design, recording. If I'm not too busy with projects, I will take you on and I will gladly help you with your audio. The podcast is Soundspace. All of our social media is linked in the description. You can follow us in your favorite podcatcher. Please leave us a 5-star review. And I just wanted to give you a big thank you, Marie, for coming on today. This was very inspiring to hear, to listen to. And I really want the audience to, if you have a moment, please go take a moment and listen to her music. It's great. And I really want to put that point across. All right. So, yes, for myself, Anthony, and Marie, this has been another episode of Soundspace. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Ciao.